Hi, my name is Yaxuan Liang and I go by Doris. I'm a senior at Arcadia High School in California, and in this study, I work with my mentor, Xiaohong Xu, a leading investigator at the Institute of Neuroscience at Chinese Academy of Sciences, to explore how people in different cultures and with different genders interpret words. People have long to understand the emotional connotation of words, and setting this as an aim, the researchers of ANEW, which stands for the Effective Norms for English Words, examined emotional connotation for 1,034 English words using three variables, which are valence, arousal, and dominance. Valence represent how happy or unhappy the words make subject of the survey feel, and arousal describe the extent of the excitement, while dominance refer to the degree of feeling of control. The original study had found that the valence value had a quadratic relationship with the arousal value. In other words, the arousal value increases as valence value reaches two extremes of the spectrum. On the other hand, the dominance value has a linear relationship with the valence value, meaning that the dominance value increases as the valence value increases. Since then, many researchers from different countries and cultural backgrounds have conducted studies similar to ANEW to explore the emotional connotation of words in different native language and genders. In the current study, we wish to understand how emotional connotations of words may differ across cultures and genders by performing intercomparison between the previous studies. Many studies were done to show how people in certain cultures interpret words, while few studies were conducted to perform intercomparison between the data sets of those previous studies. And few studies focused on how culture and gender affect emotional connotation of words. The idea is that culture may impact interpretation of words, and additionally, there might be inherent gender difference in emotional connotation of words that show cross-cultural consistency. Since Spanish and Portuguese are graphically and culturally closer to each other than to America, we predict that the emotional value from Spanish and Portuguese datasets will be more closely related than they are with the English datasets. The current study finding may help elucidate subtle grains of differences in the emotional connotation of words affected by culture and gender differences. First, the valence means for the word list from each study was gathered in one spreadsheet. The standard deviation of the valence mean and the mean of the valence mean are calculated using the standard deviation and average functions in Excel. We added or subtracted the average by the standard deviation to get the upper and lower critical values, respectively. If one word's valence mean value is higher than the upper critical value, then the word carries a positive emotional connotation. And if the value is lower than the lower critical value, then the word carries a negative emotional connotation. We consider both negative and positive words as emotional words. Therefore, if a word's value falls between the upper and lower critical values, then the word is categorized as non-emotional. After the process, we assign each word a representation value, which can be 1, -1, or 0 by using the if function. Specifically, positive emotional words receive the value 1, and negative emotional words receive -1, whereas non-emotional words receive the value 0. We then put the representation values, valence mean values, and word from different languages into one spreadsheet and analyze the similarity and differences across three datasets to evaluate how culture and gender processes each word. By examining the datasheet, we find that people in all three cultures rated more word as negative than positive, which can be shown in Table 1. Moreover, the word rated as negative by all three cultures accounted for 71.8%, 68.7%, and 65% of the total number of negative words for the English, Portuguese, and Spanish datasets, respectively. By comparison, words rated as positive accounted for 58.5%, 58.2%, and 55.5% of the total number of positive words for the English, Portuguese, and Spanish datasets, respectively. We noticed that the ratio of shared emotional words was higher for the negative category than the positive category. This result suggests that people in different cultures may be more connected regarding to the perception of negative connotation of words, since more negatively connotated words are shared among cultures than positively connotated words. Accordingly, people's perspective on negative words may be more stable and less susceptible to cultural modification than positive words, which show more variability across cultures. Next, we perform pairwise analysis of shared positive and negative words in the 3 samples, which are Spanish to Portuguese, Portuguese to English, and Spanish to English. As shown in Table 2, the ratios of shared positive words between Spanish to Portuguese pair is higher than the ratios of shared positive words for the Portuguese to English and Spanish to English pairs. At the same time, the ratio of shared negative words between the Spanish to Portuguese pair is also higher than the ratios of shared negative words for the Portuguese to English and Spanish to English pair, as shown in Table 3. From the pattern and ratio values exhibited in Table 2 and Table 3, we can conclude that there is significantly more similarity in emotional connotation of words between Spanish and Portuguese than either one with the English. Previously, some studies were done to compare the emotional connotation of words in males or females of the same culture. One finding is that females tend to be more emotional since females rate positive things as more pleasant and negative things as less pleasant than men. To examine whether this finding is true across different cultures, we calculated the mean of valence values provided by the 2 genders in English, Portuguese, and Spanish datasets separately. Noticing the gender variability in ratings, we set an upper bound and lower bound to define emotional words using the mean valence values and standard deviation of either gender. Upon examining these parameters, we noted that the mean valence value for all 1,034 words does not differ consistently between females and males of all 3 cultures. However, the standard deviation is consistently higher in females than males, demonstrating higher variabilities in ratings in female. As expected, the upper and lower bounds for determining emotional words are more extreme in females than males, demonstrating that females of all 3 cultures rated positive words more positive and negative words more negative than males. In addition, previous study also note one peculiar fact, which is that sexual words are more emotionally arousal for males than females. By applying the upper bound and lower bound for identifying and categorizing the effective words, we found that across 3 cultures, more words are rated as positive in females than males. Despite this, it seems that more sexual words are rated as positive by males in all 3 cultures than females. For examples, females in all 3 cultures rate words related to female sex organs as neutral, whereas male in all 3 cultures give much higher valence value to these terms than females. Together, these results point to a consistent sex difference in the emotional connotation of words regarding a particular category: sexual words. In addition, previous studies have suggested that females give higher ratings for nature-related words than males. Using the same method for finding 2 genders' perspective on sexual words, we found that females rate more nature-related words as positive than male do in all 3 cultures. However, an intriguing observation is that such sex differences are more diminutive in the Spanish and Portuguese datasets than in the American datasets. Moreover, because females rated more words as positive than males, when we calculate the ratio of nature-related positive words to the total number of positive words, these sex differences further diminish. Together, these results do not support a substantial sex difference in the emotional connotation of nature-related words. And regarding the limitations of this study, the data in the new One of the data analyzed in this study was collected 2 decades ago, while the data of Portuguese adaptation of a new and Spanish adaptation of a new were collected approximately 1 decade ago. Given how fast the society has changed over time, the data examined in this study might not reflect an accurate picture of this current society. So the recommendation is to recollect the data using the same method used in anew and to reanalyze them. And here's the reference for the study. Thank you all for listening.